Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harmony Love, singer, songwriter, poet, musician, and author, and welcome to Harmony Love's podcast show. Now, it's been a while since I did an episode. If y'all would like to know what the reasons was, is because when I first tried to get things started, I was on the right track, but then life happened. And so now I feel like this is the perfect time for me to start rebooting things. And we shall see how things go. So, if y'all want to know what today's topic is, I really would like to speak on the topic of hookup culture. Now, please bear with me. I took some notes so that way I'm not just rambling. So the first question is, what created hookup culture? Now, mind you, this is just opinions. So I don't want anybody to feel like I just came up with some things. It's just, my opinion. If you would like to add, give your input, that's fine with me. This is all about open discussion. And maybe, hopefully, y'all can get some insight as far as why I don't think hookup culture is the best thing that has happened, especially to our young generation. I think what started hookup culture was we have a lot of people that had bad experiences in relationships, and I don't know. I feel like when you have a bad experience with something or somebody or an environment, a situation, a person, place, or thing, it causes you to fear either trying again, or we may question ourselves if we're worthy of trying again. Sometimes low self-esteem has something to do with it too. Like, some of us just feel like we don't deserve either marriage or a serious relationship or what have you. And then some people just don't want the responsibility because they feel like it's too much. They're overwhelmed with the responsibility that comes with relationships and marriage. Let's see, next question. Why is most people okay with hookup culture? Well, that kind of goes back with question one. But why is people okay with it? I feel like, again, they don't want to deal with the responsibility. Some people feel like some of us who wants a serious relationship feel like we have high expectations of what the relationship should be. I feel like some of the expectations that we place on relationships, I feel like some of them is kind of ridiculous. I feel some of us is not asking for too much, but then even not asking too much for some people is asking for too much. Because you got some people, they don't want to change. They're stuck in their ways. They want to be in a relationship but be single at the same time. Now, if you're wondering what I mean by being single and being in a relationship at the same time, people don't want to change. It's more like, well, I'm with this person, but I still want to do things as if I'm single. And they feel like if they was to let go of their quote unquote single, how would you say, the single life, They feel like they're missing out on something. Okay? Okay, so next question. How can we cope with hookup culture? And the reason why I place that question like that is because how can we cope with it? Because, in my opinion, I don't think hookup culture is going to die out. And the reason why I say that is because do you know how many times I done been on a date and let's say the first date is okay. The third date, but then after the third date, it's always, oh, can you come over my place? Or can I come over your place? And let's say I do allow them to come over my place. And we're watching a movie, we're having a conversation. And then no matter how hard I try to keep that conversation above water, and what I mean above water, I means not on a sexual level. Somehow in some way that date ends up talking about sexual things. And I understand that, we're all adults, we're grown. And it's okay to have these conversations, but then when it gets to the point where the whole evening is based upon a sexual conversation, then it kind of lets me know, okay, that's what he wants. And then it kind of messes up the mood a little bit, the vibe. And then let's say I decide, okay, this is how the evening is going to end. We're not going to engage in sexual activity, and I kind of somehow derail that and send him on his way. Sometimes I would get a text message. Oh, the vibe was off. I'm gonna pursue somebody else, or I'm just gonna keep looking, or so forth and so forth. And it happens a lot, and there was one situation where I met up with a gentleman, and before I can even eat my food, this man straight up says, well, after the third date, if nothing happens, then, well, you won't be hearing from me again. And, those are just examples of when I say, the hookup culture has really put a negative effect on dating. Because you can't even get through a date without your date, pressing the issue about sex. And, and just to make things clear, nobody should not, by all means, should not be pressured into doing something you do not want to do. We all have rights. We all have our beliefs. We all have our religious beliefs on top of that. So if you're ever on a date, and this goes for male and female, if for some reason, at any time, you are uncomfortable with your date, you have the right to excuse yourself, whether you're paying or not. And if that person for some reason don't have their how would you say, don't have their funds up, well, that's on them. You're grown, you should have enough money for you, and so shall the other person. We're all adults, we're not kids. Don't ever feel bad, if you're not feeling it, just say, hey, you know what? I would like to excuse myself. Just hope and pray that your date doesn't get belligerent and violent towards you. Excuse me. Okay, so next question. Should we accept hookup culture? Well, it's already happening. Um, we don't have to accept it, but I feel like if that's what other people want to do, then okay. I will respect the fact, or we should respect the fact that that's what the other party wants to do, but it don't mean you have to be part of it. But now if that's something you want to do, by all means, do your thing. Just like I tell people all the time. Do your thing, do your thing. Do your thing. Okay, so next question. Why is relationships no longer respected? There's a lot that plays a role in that. Relationships aren't respected anymore because it seems like people have ulterior motives, and it's always a negative ulterior motive, especially for those who's in survival mode. Now, if you're wondering what survival mode is, it's more like, okay, I'm in a bad situation, so who can I get in a relationship with so that way it can make my situation better than what it is. So basically, once that person get back on their feet, whatever it is they're going through, it's more like I can finally find a person that I want to be with instead of dealing with this person that I was using as a stepping stone. And I know, as bad as that sounds, but it has happened to a lot of us, unfortunately. Um, my advice is the only way a relationship can be respected is y'all have to get to know each other. That's why they call it the talking stage. So that way you can see where that person is mentally. Me personally, it took a lot of trials and tribulations, trial and error. It shouldn't take 6 months to a year for you to see where that person's at mentally. It should just take one conversation, just one. And you know the old saying when they say, if you listen, you might learn something? Well, that saying has been around for many years. And I'm here to say it's true. If you quiet yourself and just listen, you'll learn something. Don't be blinded by their looks. Don't be blinded by their money. Don't be blinded by their car, what type of car they drive. All you have to do is just listen and pay attention to how that person's wording, how they word things, how they put things in perspective. So that way you can make the decision if you want to keep pursuing this individual or you choose to move forward, right? Okay. Next question. Why isn't most people educated about dating? Like I said, I had to learn the hard way too myself. So I'm here to educate the masses. Dating, even though it's based upon how you perceive it, but at the end of the day, I think dating needs to be looked at as we are seeing if we're compatible with each other. Nothing else, nothing more. We're just seeing if we're compatible with each other. Think of dating as a job interview. That's why they have job interviews. They can't just hire somebody just because they want the job. Everybody wants a job. Everybody needs a job. But are you are you compatible with the position that you're applying for? And you see, because at the end of the day, it's up to the employer if they want to hire you or if they want to move forward. Now, a lot of times, I think they go off of the enthusiasm, the energy when you go to an interview. Some people interview very well, some people interview not so well. But that's just an example, not trying to go off topic. So think of dating as like a job interview. So you're interviewing this person. That's what it's all about. You're seeing if you want to move forward with that person or not. Now when it comes to, oh well, okay, this one date we're together. That's not how it works. Some people treat it like that. However, if y'all are getting to know each other, I've seen this question so many times on Facebook. If we're dating, should we be communicating every day? My honest opinion, yes. Because how are y'all going to get to know each other? You don't necessarily have to go on a date. Sometimes dates cost too much. And the times that we live in, who can honestly afford, a $50 date, $75 date every other day? There's other ways to bond. You can go to the movies. You can go to the park and talk. You can go to an amusement park. If y'all like the casino, y'all can go to the casino. Bowling, golf, or let's say y'all happens to meet in the summer, and wherever you reside at, they have outdoor events. Y'all can do that. There's plenty of things to do to get to know a person, to bond with them. Because some people take it like, oh, if we go shopping, this is all this person want to do. Not true. Maybe that's that person's love language. They like shopping. But now the real question is, okay, they like shopping, so how are they with their finances? Because a lot of times that's what breaks people. That's what breaks couples up, or potential couples. When somebody is financially struggling. I hate to say it like that. You may see me under a different light because I said that. But the reason why I said that is because I've been through it. One of us has our finances together and one of us don't. And guess what ends up happening? Everything falls on that person whose finances is together. So that's another thing. Y'all have to see if y'all financially compatible. Excuse me. You have to see if you're financially compatible. Because if not, it's going to lead to a lot of problems along the way. And I also want to add is you got people that put people in categories, which I think is wrong. Because bottom line is, I feel like if y'all are not compatible at all, y'all should not be pursuing each other at all. Bottom line. Because what's going to end up happening is this person is already saying to themselves, well, no car, no job, no place to stay, or maybe their living situation is kind of funky. So guess what they're going to do? Well, the only thing you're good for right now is sex. And that's it. That's all. So, I will conclude this session. Hopefully, y'all got some knowledge from it. And I want to end this video to promote my poetry book. Where did it go? Give me 1 second. I would like to promote my poetry book, which is called Deep Blue Ocean. I don't know if y'all can see it because of the light. So this was my first poetry book that I published last year. And I published it through Amazon. But if you would like to purchase the book directly from me, by all means, my email address is latricejbass@gmail.com, and I will spell it out for y'all so that way all the information is correct. That's LATREECEJBASS@gmail.com. Now, I want to take the time to share a poem with y'all. Okay. The name of this poem is called Butterfly in a Cage by yours truly, Harmony Love. You know, that's my artistry name. My real name is Latrice. Okay. Anyway. Butterfly in a Cage. Butterfly in a cage. It is written on the next page. It is a story of a girl feeling trapped. Life covers me with an abundance of sap. Cannot go as far as I can. My thought process is not stable. It has sunk in like quicksand, causing me to drift in the darkest land. When will I be set free? I want to fly with the wind and have no needs and no cares in this world. Butterfly in a cage, I will not allow myself to grow in rage. I'm always searching for love. Sometimes I fear I may never find love. It is hard to find, just like a needle in a haystack, hard to find. With all this confusion, how can I walk a straight line? When will I be set free? I want to fly with the wind and have no needs, no wants. When will I be set free of the persistent chaos that this world has to offer me? Once again, that was Butterfly in a Cage. And it is featured in my poetry book called Deep Blue Ocean by yours truly, Harmony Love, singer, songwriter, poet, musician, and author. And I will see y'all guys next Sunday.